What's up, guys? It's your boy Justin, and for this movie review for Dungeon Rollers podcast, we're reviewing the Heroic Trio, which is a 1993 Hong Kong superhero film directed by Johnnie To and starring Anita Mui as Wonder Woman, Dorothy Tung, Maggie Cheung as Chat slash Mercy, Michelle Yeoh as Ching, aka Invisible Woman, number 3. You also have Damian Lau as Inspector Lau and Anthony Wong as Cal, also known as number 9. So I watched the Miramax dub of this movie, which featured a lot of my favorite voice actors, right? From anime. I think it was like, what's his name? Kirk Forden did the voice of Damian Yao's character. I could be wrong, right? So yeah, the reason why I'm reviewing this movie was because my friend, Not Only Hollywood, was reviewing a Hong Kong action film. I forget what it was called, but I think it also had Anita Mui as the star. And he was like, "Oh, this movie sucks," and I remembered watching this movie as a kid on TV and remembered this movie being good, right? So I recommended this film to Not Only Hollywood, and he told me, "Yeah, I'm not falling for that one." So I'm like, what the hell? Did I have a Patrick Klepek moment? So for people who haven't watched listen to Giant Bomb podcast, there's a funny thing that happened where like Jeff Gershwin was roasting Yoshi Island, and Patrick Klepek's like, man, it's like, Patrick, you like that game because you were 9 when it came out. So I'm like, I also watched this movie when I was a kid, so I'm like, did I like this movie because I was a kid? So first, let's go into what the story of the movie is about. The story for the movie is basically about crazy underground cult is kidnapping male babies, right, to determine who the next immortal emperor will be, right? And the head of the cult is like a crazy old man in white, including white makeup, and he has very long fingers. You have number 9, played by Anthony Wong, who's this kung fu wuxia fuck, and you have number 3, who's Michelle Yeoh, who's the Invisible Woman. Yes, they took some liberties. It's funny, the subtitle names for these characters kind of suck. I think I prefer the dubbed version, right? Which Wonder Woman in the dubbed version is called Shadow Fox, right? And Chat, aka Thief Catcher, is called Mercy, short for mercenary, right? Because she's like, her character design, they obviously went with more of like, let's have like a badass road warrior kind of look. She even has like a shotgun, right? So yeah, like crazy cult, kung fu cult in Hong Kong is kidnapping babies, and the police don't know what the fuck to do because the kidnapper is invisible. So they think it's super, like a ghost or something is doing it, when it's actually Michelle Yeoh wearing invisibility cloak that her boyfriend Martin made, who doesn't know that she's using the invisibility cloak to commit crimes. And the head inspector, Damian Lau, is actually married to a kung fu superhero called Shadow Fox, right? Who's played by Anita Mui, who kind of has like a Batwoman kind of look to her, right? Not Batwoman, Huntress, right? If you ever read the DC comics, right? Or what was that shitty Birds of Prey TV show? Yeah, kind of like that. Like the main character, right? Which was like Bruce Wayne and like Catwoman's daughter, which they also called Huntress. Yeah. Which that was like a Earth 1. I think in like Earth 1, the original Huntress was from Earth 1, who yeah, nobody cares about DC Comics bullshit. Especially in this movie where the one character is named after a DC Comics character, one character is named after a Marvel character. Yeah, so yeah, you have this plot where basically crazy cult kidnapping kids. One of the heroic trio is working for the bad guys. Who in flashbacks you find out she's actually the long lost sister of Dorothy Tongue, which is aka Shadow Fox, aka Wonder Woman. If you watch the sub version, I watched the Kino dub version of the movie, right? And Mercy, who is a mercenary, also used to work for the crazy cult, but then she left because they're fucking batshit insane, right? So Mercy is like a mercenary that helps the cops catch like criminals, right? Hence thief catcher, right? She shot up like some gang that was like that took hostages, right? And then afterwards gets a job from one of the cops in the movie who had his kid kidnapped in the beginning of the film to go and rescue the baby, right? She decides to go the easier route by just kidnapping a random baby and planning on to deliver it to the cop. Who that cop was the Inspector Pig guy from fucking the what was it? What was the fucking tokusatsu movie I reviewed? The Super Rider, the Iron Man or some shit. Red Baron, I don't fucking know. It's the Red Baron movie that the fucking Hong Kong people took the movie and redubbed it and brought in new actors. I forget the name of the movie, but it's if you go on my Tokusatsu Thursdays reviews, you'll find it, right? So yeah, she kidnaps Maggie Cheung, who's fucking gorgeous in the movie, kidnaps the baby, kidnaps a baby, right? And Anita Mui's character and Michelle Yeoh go after her, right? Only for the baby to get killed, sadly. Which not just one but two babies get killed in the movie, right? Not in real life, obviously, or maybe I don't fucking know. So after that, Maggie Cheung character decides to, after she accidentally causes the death of one of the babies. Yeah, it's not a good idea to have a freeway kung fu fight in a fucking broken down warehouse with a baby. Who knew, right? Right. She goes on a suicide mission to rescue the babies, only for her to get her ass kicked and get fucking poison needles in her arms, which she gets cured of with the help of Tongue and Invisible Woman, which is Michelle Yeoh, right? Shit happens throughout the movie, and our characters decide to put aside their differences to team up to take down the crazy cult guy who has, you find out later in the film, has supernatural powers. And what's weird, not weird, but what's interesting about the movie is like there's this thing, I forget the name of the trope, but it's like the trope where like, oh, you kill the love interest of the main character to, give motivation for revenge or whatever. They do that, but it's like but it's the boyfriends that get killed, not the girlfriends, because obviously the females are the action leads in the movie. So I was like, wow, it's like you got a reverse of that old trope, which I forget what it's called, but if you're a fan of film criticism, you know the trope I'm talking about. For the life of me, I can't remember it, right? Yeah, so I'm just gonna go my likes and dislikes for the movie. Aesthetically, the movie was good. It had a good visuals, right? The action scenes, looked cool. This was like the first time when I was a kid that I ever saw the flying guillotine, which is wielded by Anthony Wong's character, who is this crazy, uh, kind of dumb, but like, uh, kind of dumb, but he's like, he can't feel pain. He's like almost like the Terminator in the movie, right? Where he wields a flying guillotine, which is basically, think of it like an it's like a birdcage kind of thing that's on a chain that he'll throw over the head of somebody, and like a chain link will come down, and there's like blades inside that will rip the head off a guy. So he's able to use that to fucking take a whole train station hostage for some reason. Huh? I kind of don't understand, like, cause that at best he can only kill one person at a time with that, so it's like weird, kind of weird, right? How like everybody was like, oh, like yeah, let's cower in fear while this guy with what? To be fair, it's a very terrifying weapon, the flying guillotine, right? Oh my god, yeah. So I don't know. I liked parts of the movie. I did like over the costumes, even though Shadow Fox's costume was not the greatest. She, for some fucking reason, takes it off, her mask off during the end of the movie. Okay, I get why you would like to show your face to your new comrades, but why are you showing your face to your enemies? Right? The action scenes, even though there are plenty of them, are super short, which the movie itself is super short. It's like an hour, 25 minutes. Though that could have been like they edited it down from the like Hong Kong version. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. That's something like the Weinsteins and the Dimension Films or whatever. That's something they would do, where they all these Asian movies are too long. Let's edit them down, cut 40 minutes, right? The music, the main theme of the movie, which I don't know if that's Miramax's fault or the film studio or whatever, but they use the same theme over and over again, and it kind of sucks, to be honest. And they very utilize Anthony Wong, who's a great Hong Kong actor, but because of his heritage, like he was like treated like shit for like most of his career. Well, not most of his career, his early career, until like I think he did like Infernal Affairs or something, and then like, oh, this guy's actually a great actor. Which yeah, so I don't know. But yeah, he's this like it's so weird that he's such a great actor, and then they use him as the like dumb mute like assassin, right? Who gets his hand cut off, and this has like a robot hand. What's supposed to be a robot hand, but it just looks like they just got like, a fucking glove. Oh, they just put a glove over his hand. So like, what the fuck? That was dumb. And the fact that like most of the movie there was like no supernatural shit, right? And then like then at the end of the movie, like they're fighting like a fucking meat puppet corpse that's trying to possess like Invisible Woman. It's like, what the fuck? That shit was fucking crazy. And yeah. And then there's the fact that Michelle Yeoh's character was able to recognize Dorothy Tongue, like aka Shadow Fox, that she's her long lost sister, because they have a tattoo that they have a tattoo that if they put their arms together, it puts the whole image. But like Shadow Fox's throwing weapons is the mark from the tattoo. So how come she didn't realize earlier in the movie that was like her sister, right? That was so dumb. But despite like all my complaints for this movie, this was a fun action film, and I liked Maggie Cheung was awesome in the movie, even though she's a bit likable, because she kills a baby in the movie. Which the fucking main villain like kills, like has like 18 babies like kidnapped, and he's keeping them in fucking bird cages. Sees one of them is like, all of them are sleeping except for one, and the other one's like, look like, is like Guga gagging at them, right, trying to get their attention, because and like he's like, oh, the other princes are resting, are, re- are resting, you should be too, and then he just kills the baby, right, randomly. I'm like, okay, didn't you need them all alive? That was just so dumb, right? I think they did that because earlier on in the movie he was showing to be pretty patriarchal or whatever. Like he was like a father figure to the bad guy. So there's like, oh yeah, we need to remind people that this guy's a bad guy. So let's have him kill one of the random babies, right? So dumb. But overall, it's a entertaining movie with a lot of crazy 90s wuxia action. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, and then at the end of the movie they try to be Art Deco. They try to pull like a Batman Returns with an Art Deco set. Oh my god! But yeah, the movie's worth watching.